Good morning. Charmaine Watt coming to you live from Regina, Saskatchewan. I hope everyone's having a great day and that they're getting out and enjoying this beautiful weather that we are having. I'm going to talk a little bit about gratitude and the habit of having gratitude in your life. A person should learn how to appreciate the smallest things in their life. Visualize the activities it will take to get me to my goal. So I have a goal in mind and I need to know what steps I want to take. So I start with setting it down on paper and writing that out. And then I sometimes have my family look over and say, do you think I've missed a step? And then they say, yes, I think you should be doing this or that. Or maybe reverse the way you're doing it just to make it have a better outcome. So another thing is to appreciate and utilize the unique abilities that I have available to me. Now, I know that I'm not great at everything that needs to be done when I'm doing things, so then I ask other team members to help me with those aspects of that part of the job. One of the things I am great at is recognizing that there is a deal and that there's money in that deal, and also that I'm also good at floor plans. I'm no good at picking out colors for a building, interior or exterior, but if you ask me to make good use of the floor space, I can do that, so there's nothing wasted. So that's one of the big skills that I have and that my family appreciates. I'm good at doing hands-on jobs when they need help doing things too, and I'm always willing to pitch in. The third thing is to always be appreciating and taking advantage of opportunities that are available. When a person is open-minded, they see opportunities that other people do not see or recognize. So when I see those, I act on them. And even though they may not be the ones that I want for myself, I will let team members know about it because I do want to see other people succeed in life. And just because it's not the right deal for me doesn't mean it's not the right deal for someone else. The fourth thing is to appreciate who you want to become, the future you. What do you want to do with your life? Do you always want to be sitting at home doing nothing and watching TV? Or do you want to be out there and building a career for yourself and making more income for yourself and potentially for your family and leaving a legacy? Because I've already completed a career with a corporation locally here, I started my own business so I could leave a legacy for my children and my grandchildren. That's really important to me. I do not have the opportunity to inherit money from family members, and therefore I have to make sure I can support myself as I get older too. That's another reason for being in real estate. But I do want to leave my children and grandchildren some money so that they will have an easier life, that they can enjoy their life. Appreciate myself how I want to be appreciated. That's really hard. I've really never thought about that. My goal in life has always been to treat people properly and to be respectful of everyone. And even when you work with someone, just because you maybe don't like them, that doesn't mean that you're allowed to treat them in a negative and a bully fashion. So it takes work to get along with everyone and to be positive and thoughtful when you interact with those individuals. I know that with regards to how I want people to think of me, I always want them to think that I was fair and equitable to them also. So I always think about what I would like to have done to me if I was in that position. And recently, some of those things have come back, not to me personally, but to my children. Our youngest son recently moved out to Ottawa. And our daughter has her best friend lives in Ottawa. And so her best friend picked up my son at the airport and took him to the condo that he's living in for the summer months while he's working out there. The other bonus behind that, she purchased at her own expense some items for him to get by for the next couple of days until he could get to a grocery store. That was so thoughtful of her. She is a young mother of 3 children. She's currently on mat leave because her youngest child was just born in October or November, I believe it was. So I really appreciate friends like that. And how I met her was she was our child's friend in Saskatoon when she was going to the University of Saskatchewan up there. And she's very down to earth. She's an astrophysicist, so she's way out of my league as far as knowledge goes. But she acts like a very down to earth person. She'll open her doors to anyone that comes around and needs help, which is really a bonus. And I appreciate people like that. I appreciate the fact that if you go to visit them, they open their doors. They're not worried about the way their house looks, whether it's messy or clean or dirty or whatever. They're looking at you as a friend to enter their home and have a good visit with. And that's also the way I like to approach life. If I have somebody come to my home unannounced, I open my door and I welcome them in. And I would personally rather spend time with them while they are alive than when they are deceased and going to their funerals. I do not go to funerals. All my family and friends know that. So, recently we had a mastermind weekend where there were 16 of us that took part in the event, and it was a great time where we got to re-energize ourselves and talk with like-minded people. And out of that meeting, we came to the conclusion that our next mastermind event in January will be held in Roatan. Now, how did we select a place like Roatan? Well, that's a really interesting story. One of the team members on our group there, they purchased a resort down in Roatan 2 years ago, and she flies back and forth between Canada and Roatan every 3 months. So they spend all their time down there. They have a resort that they've purchased, and they've brought it up to a really great standing. I believe they said it was number 2 in the travel advisory area now, instead of number 10 that it was when they purchased it. They have staff that is committed to making the resort better in all fashions, whether it be through the food or through the way they treat their guests. And they also have a dive shop. It's a world-renowned dive shop. So they offer all kinds of things. But she went on to tell us that she believes Roatan will become the next Belize, that it will be the place where people want to come and buy because it is affordable right now. But say in 10 years, that same area will not be affordable. It'll be like Belize, where you cannot afford to purchase anything, and nothing will even be available. So she's actually just purchased another resort down there right across the street from the one that she already has. So her staff is already working on building that one up to meet the standards that they have set for it. Now, we got to talking about what Roatan has to offer. And the diving, they have a dive shop. And what was really interesting about that is they actually give dive lessons. I suppose a lot of them do, but I've never done this. So it's actually 3 days training for the diving, and you get up to 4 dives with that package. Now, the other thing that they said is that they are PADI certified. Well, I've heard the word PADI before. I knew that that was a good certification to have for a dive shop. Even though I don't dive, I knew that. And they always encourage people to purchase what is called DAN insurance. And the reason for that is if something goes wrong while a person is diving and they get they need to have a decompression chamber, the insurance will cover that expense. And there is one on the island, or they could be flown out to the U.S. mainland for that medical service. But the DAN insurance would cover all of that expense. And from what I understand, that's really a huge expense. Now, Roatan has a lot of things to offer. They have zip lines, they had horseback riding, they had swimming with the dolphins, golf, they had, not dune buggies, but maybe, it was dune buggies. There is sightseeing of the different things. And one of the things that she likes to support is they have a program down there, I forget what it's called, but people live up in the mountainous areas and they have no roads going up there. So people walk up and down this hillside, and it's very steep and it's dangerous. So every year they match a donation that students from a university in the U.S. come, and they build steps out of concrete up to this remote location. So say the university students bring $5,000. This resort will match their funding. So they then have $10,000. And the university knows this, so when they come, they then have extra time to go ahead and build these extra stairs up into the mountainous areas. I thought that was really a wonderful idea, and it seems like such a small gesture on our part in some ways, but when you see the way it makes a difference in their lives, it is just incredible. Anyway, I don't have a lot of other things to talk about today, so I hope everyone has a great May long weekend and that you'll get out and enjoy the beautiful weather we're having. Remember, live your life by design and not by default. Take care and have a great weekend. Goodbye.